What's going on, everybody? Moniz here, and this is the Alienware M15, the thinnest Alienware ever made. That's the title that every journalist and reporter is using on this laptop. Like it's that big of a deal. Have you guys actually seen the size of a regular Alienware? They're 8 to 10 pounds, super thick and super heavy. They're so heavy that you could whip it out of a tank and probably put a hole in it. So making a thinner Alienware is not that hard to do to begin with. Now, one thing that is true, we finally do have a smaller Alienware, which is a long time overdue. Now, in comparison, this is a 4.8 pound laptop, making it heavier than the Razer Blade 15 and the MSI GS65. And if you look at its form factor, it's actually quite big in comparison. It's a little bit wider, the depth is a little bit longer, and of course, it's thicker than other competing products. It's made out of all metal, so it feels nice and solid. You still have the Alienware logo in the middle, whether you like it or not. And of course, you have that typical three-pronged design on top of the lid. Now, on the left-hand side, you are getting an RJ45 port, USB 3.0, and an audio in jack. On the back, this is one thing that I love about Alienware. They always put their ports on the back, which helps for cable management. So you have a full-size HDMI mini display port, USB Type-C Thunderbolt 3, so you can hook up an external GPU, or you can buy Alienware's graphic amplifier and use that instead using this port. And of course, you have your DC in jack, which uses a 180 watt brick. On the other side, you have two more USB 3.0 ports, so plenty of ports to connect all of your devices. Now, Alienware has made getting inside of here super easy. You have 3 slots for drives. This one comes with a 2.5-inch 1 terabyte drive, which is just a regular mechanical drive, but if you want, you can swap it out down the road. The middle one is blank, so you can add an NVMe drive, and the main drive, you can also swap it out if you want something bigger. Battery size, this one is 60 watts, but you can also buy it with 90 watts, which will net you better battery life, but you'll have to forego the 2.5-inch drive. Now, the 60-watt battery inside of here is giving about 4 to 5 hours of use, and that's just doing regular everyday tasks. If you're gonna game on this thing on battery, it's really not gonna last that long. And this is typical for every single gaming laptop. 2 slots for your RAM, you can put up to 32 gigabytes inside of here. The Wi-Fi card is swappable, and of course you have 2 fans with 3 heat pipes running across the middle. Now, when it comes to the display, this model has a 60 Hz panel, and to be quite honest, most of the gaming 60 Hz panels that I've tested this year haven't been that great. This one is actually pretty good. You get pretty good color accuracy, you have respectable brightness, and overall viewing angles are fantastic. The only thing I don't like about it are these bezels. These are probably some of the ugliest bezels I've seen on a gaming laptop this year. So thankfully the webcam is placed on the top, so you will get a proper view of your face, unlike the XPS line where it places it on the bottom of the display. The quality is not that great, and this is pretty typical of every gaming laptop on the market. So sound on the M15 is nothing special. It is using 2 speakers, and of course it's not going to be as good as the bigger and thicker Alienwares. In fact, the sound was quite tinny, so if you're gaming on this for long periods of time, you're definitely going to want to hook up headphones. Keyboard, I got mixed feelings about this. I like the fact that it's full size, so you have that numeric keypad. I do love the way the keys feel considering how shallow the travel distance is. In fact, out of all the thinner and gaming laptops that are currently on the market, Dell did the best job with such a short travel distance. I'd rather game on this keyboard than on, let's say, the Razer Blade 15 or the MSI GS65. Now, you're probably wondering, Matt, where is the 9 key? Well, during my live stream when I was taking off the plastic on the top grill, I guess my hand or my watch or something hit the 9 key and it completely came off. Unfortunately, I cannot put it back on. It's not like your typical key where you just press it down and it pops back on. So this causes some concern. A lot of people in the comments are like, if it came off that easily, how is the keys on this keyboard gonna look like 9 to 12 months down the road? Touchpad, it is glass, it is a good size, it's very accurate, it's using Windows Precision drivers. The only thing I don't like is that some people with OCD might not like it that's like right here instead of in the center. And also the deck of this keyboard is using like a rubber texture, which feels great to rest your wrists on, but my God, is this thing gonna get dirty. It attracts fingerprints very easily and grease like crazy. You're gonna be wiping this down every single day. Now, before I talk about performance, I had 2 issues with this laptop. The first one, it came unactivated. I couldn't activate Windows at all. The second one was I couldn't access the internet. Sometimes I'd be able to connect to a web page, and if I got onto the web page, I wouldn't be able to download something. It just wasn't working. Well, someone in the comment section of my live stream said it's a known issue. If you buy this laptop or even a lot of Alienware laptops, you have to kill the killer driver in the background in order for things to work. Well, he was right. I killed the killer driver under the task manager. All of a sudden I could activate Windows and I could start downloading all the drivers I needed to update this laptop. Now when it comes to performance, this is the 1060 model. This is the i7-8750H. So basically it has zero issues running any games comfortably at 1080p with settings set to high or even ultra depending on the title. Overwatch, Black Ops, Fortnite all ran perfectly on this laptop. It's definitely not one of the faster 1060s. For example, I did a render test between this and the Razer Blade 15 and the Lenovo X1 Extreme, and the Razer Blade 15 beat this one out. And this is with the profile set to performance and not even overclocking it at all. And the reason why I didn't overclock it is because I was having overheating issues. See, this laptop still gets hot. It will hit 90 degrees, then it will thermal throttle, and then it will keep temperatures between 80 and 85. So it's doing a good job in that regard, and it's keeping the boosts all the way up. But the one main area where it's getting too hot is the surface temperatures. I'm a left-handed person, so I play around the P, L, M, and O key. Like those are my arrow keys. And around that area, which is where the CPU and GPU is, I was getting temperatures of 60 degrees Celsius. After 20 minutes of gaming, I had to stop because my fingers were starting to hurt from the heat. Now, if you're right-handed and using the WASD keys, you have nothing to worry about, but it's something to think about. Down the road, 12 or 2 months later, how's the CPU gonna be in terms of longevity? Is it still gonna work, or are you gonna have issues? When it comes to fan noise, nothing out of the ordinary. It does kick on. You are gonna hear it when you're gaming, but it's not super loud. So here are my closing thoughts. I think this is a great first attempt for Alienware of creating a thinner and lighter laptop. I mean, the build quality of the design and the chassis itself is exceptional, but there's still a lot of little issues that irk me. And when you buy such an expensive laptop, you shouldn't have these little software issues when you first power it on. It ruins the excitement and the experience of buying a high-end gaming laptop. The second thing, even though this laptop is doing a pretty good job of thermal throttling and keeping the CPU temps between 80 to 85 degrees Celsius, the surface temperatures are much too hot. 60 degrees Celsius is unacceptable, so I can't even imagine how much hotter the 1070 runs. If you do buy this, maybe wait for a couple more software updates and see what Alienware can do from their end. So this pretty much wraps up my review of the Alienware M15. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Is this something you would buy, or would you buy something else? Like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, follow me on Instagram for some behind the scenes, and I'll see you guys in the next video.